Okay, YouTube, Mr. Hubbard 929 back on video. And what I have here on the table is a Mossberg 590 pump. I'm sorry, it's not 590, it's a 500 AB pump. What the A and B stands for, I'm not exactly sure, but it is a Mossberg 500. This was a full-size shotgun. It was given to me by my grandfather with a large, selection of his guns that he did not want to keep at his home anymore. After my grandmother died, my grandfather was at the house by himself alone, and he was afraid that if anybody knew that, it would make him a big target for a breaking and entering. And worst case scenario, he would come home while somebody was in there trying to get his guns and get shot, possibly with his own gun. So he'd always said he wanted, at his death, he wanted me to get the guns. And so after my grandmother passed, he decided to give them to me early to ensure his own safety. So I had this gun, and all of his guns for that matter, for a couple years. And this was a hunting gun. This was a gun that he used for both waterfowl and for deer. I myself am not much of a hunter. I don't have a problem with hunting, but I also don't have a need for it myself. So, with that being said, this gun was kind of useless to me in that aspect. We lived in our home for about 4 years. Maybe not quite 4, maybe 3 and a half. And the economy started to drop, and we had several breaking and enterings within a mile of my house. And of course, they were stealing copper wire, and the economy was tight, and people were doing whatever they could to try and survive, including home invasions. A woman right down the road from me, they actually broke into her house in broad daylight while she was home. I don't think that they realized she was home when they broke in, and her screaming and locking herself in her bathroom with the phone spooked them, and they left. But that was still a little too close for my comfort. So after that, I decided I didn't need a hunting shotgun, but I did need something for home defense. So I took this out to my garage, and the first thing I did was I chopped the barrel to about 18 and a half inches. 18 and a quarter, 18 and a half, somewhere in there. Did some filing work to clean the cut up so it's a nice, straight chop. The shotgun had a built-in recoil pad. It was very, very stiff. With its age, the rubber had hardened, and it kicked pretty hard, leave nice bruises. So I took the recoil pad off, and I cut 2 inches off the stock. And then I purchased a limb saver recoil pad. And actually, they're a slip-on, slip-off recoil pad, but I actually glued mine in place because I had no intentions of it ever coming back off. So the overall length of this shotgun is about 36 and a half inches with a 18 and a quarter, 18 and a half inch barrel. By cutting it off, it removed the choke. So right now, the barrel is wide open. At close range, you get a pretty decent spread. So, I've talked to some of the gunsmiths at Gander Mountain, and for a nominal fee, you have to mic the barrel and check it. But as long as they have a certain thickness to the barrel, they will drill it and add in choke tubes for you, the changeable kind. So I'm giving a lot of thought to sometime in the near future taking this to them and letting them drill and tap the inside of the barrel for a choke tube. So that'll be a feature that's coming. The rib on top had the brass bead down on the end, and there was no way for me to pull that bead and replace it that I could see. But the company I was working for had some very, very small drill and taps, and had some fairly small Allen set head bolts, or Allen key head bolts. So I got the smallest one that I could find a tap for, and I drilled and tapped the top rib and added the Allen bolt for a sight. And then shortly after that, we got some glow-in-the-dark paint for another project that we were doing, my daughter's bedroom. And I got to thinking, glow-in-the-dark paint. So I took some of that paint, which is like a tannish white color when you see it, and I heavily painted that Allen bolt head. And I was fairly surprised and happy with the results. It's a noticeable white dot down right in your line of vision. And just a few seconds in lighting like this, they actually glow quite nicely if I was to step outside. You pull this up to your shoulder and look down, and you've got a noticeable glow there to show you where the front sight is. So it's not enough to blind you or to block your vision, but it's enough to let you know where that post is so that you have an idea of where you're shooting at, especially with an all-black gun. Give me a second, I'll walk up there and you can get a better look. Trying to think if there's anything else that you need to know. Extra shell sock here. It holds, 5 extra rounds. At first I wasn't sure if I was going to like this or not, but it's actually nice that it puts 5 rounds right there at your shoulder that you can quickly load back into the gun. If I have to use it for home defense, I hope not to have to use 5 rounds, but if I do, it's nice to know I got 5 more right here. Let me walk up and let you get a better view of the gun. Okay, trying to watch one of my last videos and found that the lighting wasn't too good when I got too close. But 5 extra shotgun shells, limb saver, safety check here. Gun is empty. Okay. When you pull up to the shoulder, it's nice and soft right here to your shoulder, and you can fire 3 or 4 rounds, very quickly. And it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, as with any shotgun, but it doesn't hurt. Not the way a 12 gauge usually thumps at you, and you have to get used to it. See if I can. Hopefully, you can make out that white dot right there, and that's actually, it's very easy to acquire that dot. When you pull up to your shoulder, it makes the dot very, very noticeable. And like I said, in low light, it glows a decent greenish color. So the plug is out of the slide, so this will hold 5 rounds. You don't get the 8 rounds or whatever you would get with a tactical shotgun like a Benelli, but for something that cost me nothing and all I had to do was modify it myself to my liking, I'm very pleased with it. Alright, YouTube, that was my Mossberg 500 shotgun. Thanks for watching. There'll be another coming in just a couple minutes.